dress up like Richard Nixon. Hi, I'm Liz. I'm the youngest of all of the 5 Winstead kids, and this is my brother Gene and my sister Linda. And it's just really it's an incredible journey to go on with watching somebody who was as full of life as Mary go through ALS and have ALS take that from her. I know a lot of you didn't get to see Mary in those final days, and it was important for you to know Mary as the person in these boards and the person that you know, because as much as that disease ravaged her body, her inside spirit was there and whole, and the fact that she couldn't express that, I think was maybe the hardest thing of all for her. One thing that Sarah, I think it was you that said, or maybe it was Joe, when it said, "You're not nuts." Mary, for anybody who has Mary in her life, was it you? The one thing that Mary always gave, I think, everyone here, was when you felt nuts, she'd be like, "Oh, you're not nuts. That's real. Like, that is real. Don't worry. You are not nuts. That is real." And we are a family of nuts, and sometimes we were nuts, but at least she made us feel like we were functioning nuts. And I think that when I look at Joe and I look at Sam and I look at Sarah and Peter, and all of us as a family, first of all, the genes are relentlessly strong, right? So there's this visual connection, but there's also Mary is in all of us, in our wit, in our sarcasm, in our willingness to, and you kids have this, and my siblings have this, and you've all experienced this from Mary, which is the instinct to understand what you need. Mary would have a conversation with you, and instead of saying, "What can I do for you?" she'd say, "Do you want me to come to New York next weekend? You know, do you need some food? Do you need help? What do you need?" And she would just deliver. And I think that for those of us who, she was our bedrock and she was always our soft place to land, I think we have to look for that in each other, as we have for so many years. And I feel incredibly fortunate to hopefully offer myself as a soft place to land, all of you, and to be the rock that I can be. That I'm not as wise as your mom, but I think I knew her pretty well, and I think I know what she would offer you sometimes. And I also think that I just feel really lucky that she's so profoundly in all of you, and that I get to experience you guys every day through yourselves and your kids, I feel, and through all of you in your relationships with her. And I feel incredibly lucky just to have this time. COVID is garbage. ALS is garbage. We have this wonderful day where we can be together in this very spread out space, but also to remember her so profoundly. And so the one thing I just would just like to say to all of you wonderful people sitting behind me and all of you sitting in front of me and my siblings is that the one thing Mary never wanted us was to cry and suffer around her. She would really want us to be the people who she enjoyed. She would want us to live with purpose. She would want us to be the future that she would hope for. And so as we sit here today and look at all these wonderful pictures and share all these wonderful memories, I think we have an obligation to Mary to really live as full as we can, because as hard as some of the times were for y'all as kids, I think it's important to remember that all of these people were here to provide the comfort for her. So sometimes when it felt sad, we all were like, "We got you." And we had every one of you. And I think that that's super important thing to know that through the hardship, Mary always struggled for the joy. There was not a trip to New York she didn't miss. There was not a thing she didn't miss because she just loved it. And she loved you. And she was not about to allow herself to be defined by the obstacles in her life. Mary decided, I am going to live a life on this earth that is awesome and screw everything that gets in my way of doing that. And she did that profoundly. And I think that I'm just really want to know that, and I just really want to say also, like, it's just so weird to be here on this day. And I know many of you are going to nod your heads when I'm about to say this, but I was in a Target parking lot yesterday, and I got a text that said RBG died, and my first instinct was to call Mary and just start swearing, and I couldn't. And so we have a little RBG statue here, and I know that this day would have been like, oh my God, this is, Mary would have wanted us to say the notorious MVW, the notorious RBG. Yes. And the one thing that Mary would want me to say to you, even though I know you're going to do it, is vote like it matters and vote for her, because she would literally not stand for any of this. So thank you all for coming. Becky and John, thank you for this lovely, lovely event. To my siblings and to all of you, I'm here, I'm part of you, so make use of me if I'm useful. Thank you all so much for coming.